Hello everybody and welcome. I am joined by James and Chris from Modiphius, and today we are talking Fallout Wasteland. I'm so happy. This is one that I've been waiting to have a good close look at for a long time. It is a pleasure to have you guys in the studio with us. And really I just wanted to get a sit down chat with you guys about what the process has been like so far, how you found actually producing the game, working with Bethesda, and what maybe some of the plans for the future are. So where would you like to start?
Well, the beginning, I guess.
Good place to start.
It was quite a long journey because I used to have a t-shirt company called Joystick Junkies, and I was talking to Bethesda for quite a few years about doing t-shirts with them, and so had some initial contacts. And then I remember one day having launched Modiphius thinking, oh yeah, I could follow up on Fallout because I've been a huge fan all my life.
Yeah.
And just started the conversation, and like many things, it took, it was a couple of years of talking, and that person left, and then some new people came in, and again just got talking, and suddenly they were like, yeah, we're ready to do it. So I was like, oh, okay, gotta get serious now. And ever since they've been amazing to work with. So it took a long time to get the paperwork done.
Well, it's a huge IP.
Yeah, and they want to know that you know what you're doing, that the other stuff you make is good quality. So we sent them examples of our Star Trek miniatures, for example, which are also same factory, same great quality. That worked really well. They loved our books and everything. So that paid off, and we started doing some sculpts. They really loved them, and we're somewhere around about 250 now, and maybe 5 changes.
Really?
So we've never had you've got it all completely wrong, you don't know what you're doing. It's always been the brim of the hat's a bit thin.
Well, there's a question for you, because you're working with a company and recreating something from a video game where they've already done a ton of 3D modeling.
Yeah.
What was it like for like getting access to that kind of information?
They give you all the access. I mean, we did get, like the Sentry bot, for example, has an incredibly detailed 3D model in ZBrush, which is used to create these files. However, you could actually 3D print it at probably lifelike scale. It's that detailed because the guy's obsessed with it. He's a lovely guy who's designed it. And it took a lot of work to simplify the components down for this scale, because you can't just print everything because it would be tiny. Everything has to be thickened. We have certain tolerances how thick things have to be able to be made properly. So, and I was really pleased because that model, when the guy got the sample at Bethesda, he couldn't believe that we'd actually made it.
Right.
He didn't know how we'd made it because he was so happy with it. And so that, that was a real win. And we seem to have done as well with all the models. I mean, some of them are based on their friends. Some of them are, the dog meat is based on someone's dog. But they all seem to have gone through okay. I mean, it's just odd little things. Actually, the Sentry bot's head, he wanted it a bit more to be a separate piece. So, it had a bit more character. And that was an easy fix. But there's never been a kind of, this is totally wrong. So that's been great. And, we know Todd Howard, the head of the studios, is a big fan of the miniatures, and he's getting a whole set painted up. So, we seem to be on the right track, and getting them really behind it has really helped. And I went over to see them to demo the game.
Right. Is Todd Howard as funny in real life?
Oh, I've not met him.
Oh, right.
I've met some of the other team.
Okay.
But they're all really nice. I mean, a lot of the gamers. They've got a big games group that they meet every Thursday. They play role-playing games, board games, war games.
That's really cool to hear.
So we went over and I demoed the game, fresh out of James's hands.
Yeah.
With stickers on dice and, rough, we had a few 3D prints to show them. And we took them through the game, and they had a few comments, but they all seemed to like it, and we left them to play over the months whilst we kind of cracked on with the sculpting, and
nice.
All went really well. And so we've had a great relationship where we've added some little bits. So there's a turret that's coming, which is controlled by a person as opposed to being a robotic turret.
This I like.
So that's coming in one of the sets. They were happy with that. And there's so much we can use though that we don't actually have to create really anything new. We've given some things names that aren't in the game just to organise them into units. But there is so much references, and the great thing is, with a video game, if you've played Fallout, you know that you can spawn.
Yeah.
You can go, okay, I want to have a sentry bot, and then you can walk around the sentry bot. So the guys can take pictures, screen grabs from every angle. They have, a lot of them have, not everyone, but a lot of them have got ZBrush models, but as I said, you've got to actually shrink them right down. And actually, it's usually easier just to start again and sculpt from scratch.
Well, it is one thing I was wondering about. So those ZBrush models, normally whenever I think video game 3D model, I think, okay, it is literally just the outside skin.
Yeah.
Does it have an internal structure in the ZBrush files, or is that something you have to
there's
rebuild?
two different things. So the actual video game model, you probably can, because you worked in the games industry, but it's more a block, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's the lighting model is the one that's got all the detail, but that is still a model. But yeah, inside that is much more simple.
Yeah. You couldn't use that as a. I mean, people have tried and failed horribly to use a video game model. So we have to. It's just simpler. The guys just start from scratch. They sculpt using that as their reference, basically. But there's so much reference.
Yeah, and like you were saying, some of the details when they scale down, you're going to lose them. So you have to thicken them up. It's something I've actually talked to a few designers about is, say they're designing chainmail on something, they'll make the links in the chainmail huge, completely out of scale on the 3 up. Whenever you scale it down, it actually makes.
I mean, this little dude, the iBot, is a good example where the spines are much thicker than the actual one in the game. I mean, massively so, just because it's delicate as it is. So you would, and it's so delicate that when they run the tool, somewhere in the region of a third of them will be broken. So there's a lot. It's actually quite expensive for us to make because there's a lot of wastage.
Yeah, there's a lot of failure. Yeah,
so you have to, and at this scale, you think, well, they're quite big, but actually, when you're looking at it from the tabletop, you have to pump up the scale. As I'm sure if anyone who knows their miniatures knows that things are artificially bigger. Guns are bigger than they should be. Hands and heads are generally bigger. Yeah, so with that kind of heroic scale, which just makes it look more realistic on the table.
Yeah, well, the other thing is sometimes on the actual connection points, I've seen people actually bypass a fine connection point and sculpt a component where it actually has a bit of detail further on that then sockets in to actually just give you a better contact on your miniature. I'm guessing, have you guys been considering that in these as well?
Well, we've tried to make them as simple as possible to put together because I think, Fallout is a real mainstream property. Yeah. It's the sort of game, and it's why we went with the PVC models in the main starter set. Yeah. Just so we knew there would be people buying these in video game shops. I mean, for example, I know one of the big chains, GameStop, has bought a massive load in America.
Really?
So that's going to get in front of people who've probably never picked up a miniatures game. So imagine them opening a box and it's all resin parts, and they're like, what the hell do I do with this?
Yeah, my stuff's
So
broken.
we wanted them to be able to get, it's coloured plastic, it's really easy to play. Yeah. But we also knew that we couldn't only offer that option, which is why we did a resin version of the starter set.
And that's what we have here, yes?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got everything here is resin, and the whole range beyond that is resin. So PVC gets you into the game at a good price. Resin is if you really want to go deep, and then that's when we know people usually want the better detail.
Yeah, well, I mean, like between myself and John here in the office, we have been sitting teetering on the edge of just diving headfirst into this game. I'm not going to lie, because the pair of us are both huge Fallout fans. So seeing this come to the tabletop, you've probably found a pair of your harshest fans that you'll probably find here, and I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned earlier we had a 1.16 sculptors working on this for the last kind of almost 2 years. Yeah. And we're at 250 models plus. We are somewhere like 3 or 4 waves ahead of where we are now in terms of all the models signed off, all approved, ready to go. They're all starting to go into 3D printing and production. So we're trying to get really ahead of ourselves.
But that's a good thing to do, to be so far ahead of yourself whenever you're working with a licensor. To actually know that I'm not going to hit that bottleneck where I need new stuff out, but I need this one person to sign up, but they don't have time to. It's definitely a good idea.
I mean, one of the problems we face as people who know who've ordered is the slow production of resin. It's one of those things. You either choose metal, which is heavier to ship. It's not as high detailed as resin, but then resin is slow production, metal is fast production. Or you go to PVC in China or hard plastics, like a Games Workshop. But then you've got massive setup costs.
Oh yes.
And for a small business, when you're making your first steps, there's companies who've again, made incredibly expensive mistakes. It's something you do it slowly, check it out, work out the costs, work out what would be the sets. I mean, we are thinking ahead for later factions and then revisiting original factions. You know, might we change it into hard plastic? Might we change some stuff into, you know, a material that is, you know, maybe some sets could be metal. So we're exploring what we can do to speed up production, because I mean, we've already nearly sold out of the first starter set run, which is great. Good and bad.
Good problems to have.
Yes, exactly. We've ordered more. And, you know, the resin sets, we are literally making them as fast as the factory. The entire factory is only making Fallout now.
Really?
So,
wow.
It's quite incredible, you know, how much we've taken them over, and, you know, they're living and breathing Fallout.
I have to wonder who is now gnashing their teeth because their factory got took over by you guys.
Maybe, yeah. I think they've got a bit of a waiting list for anyone else. But, you know, it's again, a great problem to have. And, you know, we're about to give them all of Wave 2 to produce as well.
If you're ready for it, you've actually passed me a ton of images here that I'd like to actually start cycling through, talking to you guys about. So, James, I'm going to want you jumping in on this as well. So, first things first, what do we have here?
Frank. So that is for your, you know, the guys that want old school Fallout. Frank Horrigan is kind of one of the big badasses from the early Fallout games. And we've basically updated him with a sort of Fallout 4 version of the armor. And he's standing on a dead Deathclaw, which is pretty awesome. And that's one thing you might not have seen if you've not seen the miniatures up close, but every single one has got a scenic base. Yeah, which is something
I had noticed that.
It's not cheap to do, and for some people, they don't realise. I mean, if you don't have scenic bases, you're usually paying 20-30 quid for a pack of, say, 10 really good scenic bases, and we've tried to make them thematic, so they're under this enclave power armor.
I'm seeing a mini nook about you.
Yeah.
You know, he is milliseconds away from doom.
That's a danger card.
Yeah. So this is one of the enclave Tesla armor suits. Awesome.
I remember these from Fallout 3. Now, there is a thing. Are you doing both Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 miniatures?
Yes. I mean, we've done a load of Fallout 3 stuff, and we're and you'll see later, there's some more Fallout 1 stuff coming. So we're dropping into previous games, and we can do all of them. So we're gradually going back, picking interesting characters, interesting. So
you've got the full gamut to run through then?
Yeah.
I will assume, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but please tell me you guys are going to be talking about some Fallout 76 stuff.
It's definitely on the cards. I mean, we didn't know about it until E3, so because of course they have to keep these things super secret.
I'm assuming as soon as it came out, you were on the blower going, guys.
Yeah, they said, look, you're going to be very happy when you see what's happening at E3. So it was a great surprise because it's a co-op game. Oh yeah, this Fallout game is beautiful when it's played co-op. We're going to be playing a game as well. So
of course.
It's that was great news for us. So yes, it's on the cards, but it takes time to develop.
Nothing to say
and we've got, like I said, we've got a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah. So we'll be bringing it out. I mean, by the time people get to play it, it's going to be November, and then they're going to be getting used to it. So we'll be following up soon.
Okay, well, let's see what we have next. So more Enclave,
more
standard
Enclave
power armor.
Yeah. So
designs on the plasma rifles are looking great.
Yep.
Next up, Scientist.
Yeah, so that's the Enclave Scientist. So nice to see the nice power armor helmet.
Yeah, I like that. We
Enclave Officers.
Yes. What is the gun in the right-hand side here?
The plasma pistol, I think.
Yeah.
Is that a plasma pistol? No. It's that long since I've played Fallout 3. I can't remember what some of the weapons look like. I'm used to Fallout 4 weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell are these? Okay, so these I've never seen before.
Yeah, so this is the other Enclave armor. This is the Inferno weapons.
Oh, the incinerators.
Sorry, incinerators, yeah.
Hellfire armor.
Yeah, Hellfire armor, there we go.
I see. I feel like I've missed a trick here. I have never seen this armor before.
And again, the armor's been updated slightly, so we've updated it to fit in with Fallout 4
I
canon.
See.
So as you might be aware, or people who've played Enclave know that their armor was sort of more armor plating over a black bodysuit. So they wanted us to update it to fit in with Fallout 4, which is, in theory, we can pick and choose stuff from the previous games, but we have to try and fit it all in so it looks like works together.
And
see, that's
why.
So this is one of the actual kind of bigger changes that we did, and they were really happy with it. Went through straight away.
Cool.
And stats wise, the armors in different games. I spent a lot of time in spreadsheets. as any designer should. Making sure it all fits in together. And it's been quite interesting, merging them together and having that one kind of full set of armour through the ages almost, all relative to each other.
Very, very
a good challenge and interesting.
I'm curious to see how people will paint these up. Next up,
the Institute. Yeah, so these are sort of some great. Again, one of the interesting challenges is creating synths that have really, really spindly metal skeletal bodies. So we had to thicken things, leave some plating on, but we were really happy with the design. Again, went through straight away. They were really happy. We've got the Institute scientist.
Yeah, you've got a Corsair there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So you've got Gen 2 synths, Gen 1 synths. So the Gen 2s have always got the laser rifles typically. The Gen 1s have got batons or laser pistols.
They're the Institute laser pistols and laser rifles, which is slightly different to the other.
And so is that meaning the Institute will be a standalone faction that you can play?
Yeah.
Nice.
So these are coming after the Raiders.
Okay.
So once the Raiders have hit.
Okay. Do we have a rough sort of date, time, area, or are we just going to leave that in the...
I think it'll be when they're ready.
Okay.
So, but certainly next year.
That's good, when they're ready.
Next year, yeah.
Cool. Next up...
So this is just, look at those close-ups on the skeletal heads, and this is the kind of beautiful detail we're getting.
Gorgeous damage detail down and around the bodysuits.
Yeah.
Gen 1.
More
really what is this one holding?
He's holding someone's helmet.
And he's standing on a toolbox. Such a cool
little health
design.
pack. There was a dead round roach back there as well.
Dead round roach? Oh, wow, yeah. And the top left. Cool.
Yeah.
We then have...
So there's a couple of character packs here. So this is the XO1 power armor, and it comes actually with swappable heads. So this is the first time we're doing some sort of items that you can swap out. So it comes actually with Nora and Nate's head. So
nice.
You can have it as a generic power armor guy, or actually make it the character. And of course, got to keep going with dog meat. There's so many variants of dog meat. He is the star of the show. So we've got dog meat in armor here, and then we have got Fist and the Overlord for the super mutants. So this is actually coming in wave 2. These guys are actually the next wave when we expand each of the factions as well.
Very cool. I'm loving the weapon designs. I mean, like, seeing a chain gun held by a super mutant, you get a sense of scale of just how big these guys are compared to a regular human. Yeah. And then, is that a laser gatling the other one's holding?
Yes,
I think it is.
I believe it is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so this is where we talk a little bit about what's coming. Big models, of course.
Yeah.
Again, see little, there's Nuka-Cola machine, buried here. There's going to be the eggs, the hatchlings. Then obviously you've got the Mirelurk Elite.
Hunter.
Mirelurk Hunter. Yeah. There is a Mirelurk Elite. So the Mirelurk's going to be a big thing. I mean, it's kind of what you get. It develops, especially when you get into Far Harbor. There's a lot more creatures and stuff. And the goal is to do some of the DLCs from Fallout 4 as kind of expansion boxes.
And they have the Nuka World theme tune running in the back of them.
Yes, Nuka World will be coming as well. Vaults, all kinds of stuff. So
nice.
The plan with the Mirelurk Queen is that there's going to be the model, so big, awesome, bad for the game, big elite creature. But also that you can expand on the actual sort of Mirelurks as a group. There's going to be rules for creatures as a faction.
Oh, so you could just play as the wildlife of the Wasteland?
You could, yeah.
Nice.
I mean, you can already just throw in creatures as it is. And
you can also be a creature controller.
Yes.
So one guy leading them all, training them. So they've all got their own kind of like power-ups and things to go with them. And one guy in charge.
What was the super villain from 3? The Ant Queen one.
The antagonist.
Yes.
Or antagonizer.
Antagonizer versus the mechanist.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was hilarious. So what we're going to be doing with Mirelurk Queen and also Liberty Prime, which is also a giant model we're doing, which is ridiculously big, is there's going to be campaign boxes that aren't reliant on you having the model, but gives you a whole themed campaign that, I mean, you can chat very briefly,
loosely,
but without giving away too many secrets. But the idea,
the idea is that any two factions can be involved in Liberty Prime, and there's a lot of it's the most story laden product that we'll probably do. Hidden information. Really excited about those projects. I don't think it's been done before in a skirmish game and war game. But But yeah, deep, where both players actually have a proper story to go through, not just like, there's a bunch of battles and we'll just work out how it happens at the
And there'll
end.
be stuff,
much more
secret stuff revealed by both players to each other. All kinds of fun stuff.
We did a test on one, which just got really humorous twist to it. Just it should be really fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you won't need the model. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be ways of using. Especially like the Milet Queen, you just be able to use her as a big bad in the game.
Yeah.
Liberty Prime is obviously Liberty Prime towers above her, and will be a great collectible or a set piece for your game. I mean, you could even have scenarios where Liberty Prime's throwing mini nukes off somewhere else, and you're just trying to stop him, or you're trying to protect him. So,
see, I can just imagine like narrative campaigns where someone brings Liberty Prime, chucks a mini nuke, and it lands on someone else's table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. Brotherhood.
So obviously bringing in more power armors as well for the Brotherhood.
This is the earlier mark T50 or T45. Yeah,
I believe so. Yes, and then you've got the Super Sledge.
Yeah.
So we're just obviously going to keep. We know the power armor is really popular, so we're going to keep churning them out for people.
Yeah.
So then you have got actually. This is the ghoul from the Raiders. Sinjin.
Yep. Ah, okay.
It's one of the characters from the Raider faction.
Next to
Night Captain Kells. Cade.
Elder Maxon, isn't it?
Yeah, Elder Maxon.
Kells, you're right.
Kells, yeah. So that's again from the third wave, where wave 2 is all about adding the Raiders in and more scenery, whereas wave 3 is more characters and expansions for each of the factions.
Very cool. All right, well, I assume we're going to see more Raiders then.
Oh yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, so we're just going through some of the individual Raiders now, and they're all badass. We've actually, people who might have seen these before, we've got a load more sculpts coming that we just commissioned to add a load more variety, because they're the ones that need it.
I have got to say, the number of different sculpts you are doing is incredible.
Yeah, it's a bit insane.
It's worth it though, because I mean, looking through this, anytime you're playing, you've got in the game a certain number of Raiders that you'll see, but whenever you start changing up, gear, hairstyles, whatever, suddenly you've got such a depth and breadth of different looks. To actually have you bring that to the tabletop, huge respect. I've got to say that right now. Yeah,
and we're trying to do more of it as well. I mean, as time goes on, there's the Raider boss in power armor,
nice,
dual wielding. And this is one of the other characters that is Akak or Avery?
Avery.
Avery, yeah. Yeah. So,
one thing I would love to see if you guys ever hit plastic is do a generic human sprue with the different armor types.
Yeah, it's something we're thinking about. I mean, that if we're going to do plastic, the obvious one would be to do say a male and female soul survivor with lots of options on gear and armor, bodies, and bits and pieces. So it's,
but I mean, if you did like a leather set pack, a combat armor set pack, that could be so cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, hello. Who are you?
That is Akak.
Mm-hmm. That is a face of madness.
Yeah.
Gorgeous work.
Yeah.
And what can you say? It's a raider running around with a minigun, or is she a raider?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a raider. Yeah. So of course, with all those raiders running around, you need a bit of help for the survivors. So we've got some more vault dwellers. Now this is they're more of a neutral set because, as we know, you meet vault dwellers. They can be on your side or helpful, or
they can be good, bad, or cuckoo bananas.
So it gives you more options for your own soul survivors.
Mm-hmm.
You want some vault security as well. So again, it's like little expansions, and that's what we're trying to do is have these little kind of themed expansions that let you expand any of your factions.
Yeah, and then I'm seeing with the bases that you're doing for the different ones, they are changing as we go through, because this looks as if it is just running through a ruined vault. Yeah, which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Who do we have here?
There we go.
There's Nick Valentine.
He is indeed. So I love this rocket, just missile. So so again, another sort of character expansion for the survivors.
Strong and Hancock.
Yeah, Hancock's
very cool.
Great. Of course, there's another ghoul. Strong on the super sledge. And
Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah, so he's the sort of bonus for Wave 2 orders that we're going to have on our website. Retailers are going to get the new Coca-Cola girl.
I see.
that we had on our web store as well. So we're kind of swapping around. Nothing's exclusive. We just want everyone to have a chance.
Yeah.
And he's going to come with like some special Mysterious Stranger style rules.
There's a Mysterious Stranger perk in the 2-player set, but this may include further versions of the perk.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. More power armor. I'm happy.
I mean, so we've got T45s, T51s.
Yep. And the armor rack, which is always
the
lovely.
armor rack, which there's a card version of that in the Red Rocket Scenic set, but of course we wanted to do something like a physical one. So, again, expanding the sort of armor options.
Your sculptors love putting traps on the bases. I'm seeing a landmine here.
Yeah.
I love the detail of actually having some of the casings from the minigun on the base is nice as well.
They really think hard about it.
Very cool. Dog meat.
Yeah. Just checking out the armor again. See, I love the little teddy bear lying there.
That's Dog Meat's Teddy.
Yeah.
This is Fred. Mole rats.
Mole
rats. These things,
so
they piss me off.
Yeah.
This is my one bugbear for the game. These things out of every monster in the game piss me off. Just because they burrow down and then they come up where you're not looking and bite you.
So we've in Wave 1, the creatures actually weren't in retail. So the goal is the creatures are all going to go into retail in Wave 2. So you have mole rats and rad roaches. There's going to be a whole set of ghouls. So there we go. So these are your bloated, glowing ones.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do a set which includes these and the original ghouls from Wave 1.
Very cool.
We've got the miniatures for here.
Who is this?
So there you go. This first big exclusive reveal. So the master from Fallout 1.
Okay, I have a bit of a confession to make. I jumped in at Fallout 3.
It's okay.
I don't know who this is. So the old hands out there, this is for you.
Yeah, so if those of you who are old school enough will know that you see the master on a screen as a talking head. So we thought, let's just do the whole thing. So he's a big scenic piece / big bad that is going to be part of a set in the next year. No more details yet, but it's really awesome.
All right,
and again, went straight through. They loved it.
Really?
And let's have another big reveal.
The
Mechanist.
Yes.
So this is the Mechanist. Actually, if you see, he's got the little M on the helmet. It's from Fallout 4. But we'll probably do cards for Fallout
so that's
3.
the female one then.
Yes, there's 3. You can have 3 and 4, so you can do the different variants.
Yeah, I did like the redesign they did for Fallout 4, where it was more of a stripped down version of the Mechanist rather than being quite so heavy. And the translation you guys have done looks really great.
You can see it's got the United States of America, this sort of floor panel she's standing on. So, and then obviously we're doing I think we've got more scenery next. We're doing a lot more scenic stuff. So some really obvious ones like military barricades. So we did a lot of interesting scatter for Wave 2, just to do some of the iconic stuff. But now it's time to bring in some cover.
Yeah.
So this set's going to be beautiful, which is the crashed
bird.
Yeah, crashed birdie bird.
Nice.
There will be an actual birdie bird one day, and then we've been putting together all the little scatter bits into these sort of generic survivors barricades.
Yep.
And then this is beautiful, the objective markers, which are going to replace the objective markers in the base game. If you want something much more thematic, and these have got some great little fun things going on, like the dude whose party ended up with his head in the toilet. And, you've got sort of like the destroyed Institute synth here. You've got some weapons. You've got fusion power cores.
My favourite has to be the Nuka-Cola crate with the little toy truck and the open bottles.
It's like, the hat and the holotapes. There's lots of great little sort of stuff, little hidden gems there.
Yeah. See, this IP, I think you guys are one of the luckiest groups in the world to be working with this particular IP, just because there is so much there to go and play with.
Yeah.
You have a ton of history to go and jump into, tons of different stories that you can bring to the tabletop, because at the end of the day, Fallout is one of the best role-playing games that I've ever played for a video game style one. Yeah. And I can't wait to play more. What else we got? The crash spaceship.
Yeah, the crash UFO, because we gave away the aliens eaten in the starter set that everyone ordered in the pre-orders. So we thought, well, he needs a spaceship to fly around in. So of course it's this is from the early Fallout games. There's actually a couple of versions. So this is the version that a lot of people would have seen last.
I still remember one of the DLC from Fallout 3. Didn't they take you up to a spaceship?
Yeah.
You got abducted.
That's right. Yeah, you had to fight your way out. And then
Cars?
some more cars because we did the sedan, and
Of course.
we wanted to add in more vehicles.
Ooh, sporty.
Yeah,
I like.
So it's going to be a nice red
I see.
paint job.
And of course,
this
Nika
is
Girl.
Nika Girl, who was in the promo from us.
Lovely work, guys. Oh, this has me so excited. All right, we have a ton of painted stuff here on the tabletop.
Yeah.
So, is there any of it you would particularly like to pick out and show off? Because I know this is the resin stuff, which when compared to the PVC is leaps and bounds different.
Well, why don't we start with some of the starter set models so people can see. So this is the power armor.
So I'm just having a little look around myself, and I'm instantly seeing sharper detail around a couple of the soft points that I did see in the PVC version.
Yeah.
So for me, one of the things I noticed was in and around the hip, the detail sort of blended together a little bit, but this is perfect and looking really good. I also noticed in the PVC set, the feet were a little bit off on the base, but this is, again, perfect. And me, I love power armor. I mean, like, I want to get some of these just so I can have a play doing different game styles. I want to do, whenever I play Fallout, I always collect power armor. And so I do a massive wall of power armor, but every last suit is painted differently. So I want to do my forces for this game with every suit of power armor painted differently in one of the styles from the game.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Got? So obviously there's Nora.
Nice. So here we have Nora, looking really good. I did like the fact that you actually hung some of the weapons around her, because in game it's always just assumed that you've got some kind of flash-based technology in that pick boy. But turned out really good. Who was your painter for these? Because they've turned out really nicely.
Well, we've had a full-time painter, Lewis, who's been working with us, but we've also had some freelancers.
I see.
Because obviously you can't coat on your own just with one painter, so there's been so much to paint. The Deathclaw.
Oh, yes.
Is obviously a good one.
Yes.
Okay.
Look at him. Yeah, in Fallout 4, whenever you instantly have to fight one of these, was that oh crap moment.
Especially early on.
Oh yeah, well it was whenever you just got your first suit of power armor, you just got a minigun, and it's just like, by the way, Deathclaw, now you know why we gave you power armor and a minigun. Have fun. He's so cool, and yeah, the resin jumps out at me as being so good.
There's what we call aviator head, a little aviator hat.
Okay, hello. Nice.
I mean, you really see a lot of the detail come alive on the super.
They really do.
Well.
Again, the point I'll always draw to is the waist, because things just stand out so much better on these resins, and I'm loving that. And the detailing down in the face now is really, really working for me.
Yeah,
I'm really digging that.
Do you want to have a look? Should we look at some of the scenery?
Yeah, sure.
That people may not have seen. So there's the.
Okay, now this I think
sedan.
I'll have to use this for. So we've got the wrecked sedan. Now, are we going to have options for wrecked and good, or are they all just going to be wrecked?
It's the wrecked version at the moment. We're looking at some alternative options because they're really expensive to produce. Because it's a huge chunk. There's actually two pieces. This is the underneath is a whole separate piece,
right?
Which we could have left off, but actually some people might want to have it turned over on its side.
Yeah,
you can't just have a.
That's a nice slot.
Car.
Can they blow up in game?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yep. If you hit them with damage, there's a chance they'll go off. Maybe not. But if they do, they start ticking in, they'll go off a bit later. So you have a chance to get clear, especially if you're using it for cover.
I see.
So you've got the heavy consoles. I mean, these are some of the little things we wanted to give people so they can flesh out their own Wasteland. Because let's face it, there's lots of great suppliers of Wasteland themed buildings that you might see in Fallout. So we wanted to give them all the little details. So we've got packs of stickers coming with posters that people put on their own buildings.
Nice.
We've got a little, I did pull it out, there's a little terminal that you can stick on the side of a building.
Well, you see, it's components like this, the incidental components, they might do absolutely nothing for you in game.
Yeah.
But they bring the world to life. I mean, like, I remember we did a table a few years ago and we put some nice wrought iron lampposts on it. They had no effect on the game other than just making it look cooler.
Yeah.
Everything comes with some extra cars to expand the world and all of the terrain. I think pretty much every terrain pack has something that then uses them actually on the board for something. So your coda machines come with a quest where you want to visit the different machines to try and find that special collector's bottle.
Mr. Handy.
Yeah.
These things always make me laugh in game. There was one of them I remember seeing walking around just randomly in one of the Fallout games, and he actually starts questioning you to see if you're a communist spy. And the thing I saw was just someone constantly being sarcastic back to him, and it just went, levels of sarcasm conclude that you are indeed American. Have a nice day, citizen.
Let's have a look at the Protectrons right again.
Oh, yes. Yes. These things are everywhere in the game.
Protectors.
And the level of detail you guys have went to on these is really good. Now, this is a challenge that I assume you guys had was with something that has a glass dome.
Yes.
Do you leave the glass dome off?
We did look at creating a glass dome, but it would have just added so much to the cost.
Yeah. Although, that's a nice detail. Just having that engraving that says Protectron along the back. Yeah. Is it on both? It is on both.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that it's one of those things that you've always got to try and be practical as well as deliver a great model. So you don't want the cost to be so high that most people think it's too expensive. So I mean, this is a good example of these sets, the Minutemen set. So great example of a set to grow the Survivors faction.
For me, I never really did the Minuteman quests whenever I was playing the game, because it was always go to settlement. Settlement gives you quest. Go back to settlement. Go back to Preston.
Yeah.
God damn it, Preston! In fact, you've actually done Preston. He's right here.
He is. He's there, waiting to give you another mission.
Go away, Preston. As every player has said, go away, Preston. Leave me alone.
These are quite fun. So again, expansions for the
nice
super mutants.
Super mutants with the mini nukes.
Yeah, the mini nukes.
I love this guy that's just going touchdown. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Really lovely work, and seeing the bases with some paint on them really shows just how well they ground them into the world, which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
Lovely. What else do we have here?
So let's have a look at.
You've actually done my favourite.
Oh yes.
So this is my favourite companion. Hi, Piper. One of the most fun characters to run around with, and the translation from digital model to on the tabletop, fabulous.
Yeah.
I am loving it. Nice. Who else we got?
We've got
more super mutants.
Here we go. This is Hammer. With his hammer and a rocket launcher.
Of course.
So he's one of the characters in the first wave.
Nice. Really nice heavy duty armor on him. Because you imagine super mutants, and you just imagine they're just going to rip plates off stuff and put chains on to hang them off themselves for protection. Very cool. And we do have one big mini here that I would love to show off.
Yeah.
The Behemoth. So this is him. These things used to terrify me. And then I got a mini nuke launcher. Although I have to wonder, the shopping cart on his back, is it out of scale for regular people? Is it just like too big? Or is that
no, it is actually because he carries rocks in it, and but there's actually, I think in the shopping centre that you go to, there's a giant one on the roof, so he's probably pulled one off.
Gotcha.
It's like a display at the front.
Gotcha. And that how he has made it into a backpack.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. He looks like he's been through the wars.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's got some great fun rules.
Yeah?
Hydrant on a stick.
Yeah.
And throws rocks.
Well, like the Deathfall's got a great rule where he throws people.
Yeah, every now and again. It'll crush you. Just like in the game, you have that attacks you for a while, and then it'll pick you up and maybe throw you as well.
Yeah.
So my personal favourite is the characters.
Yes. You did Mama Murphy.
Yeah, Mama Murphy, who's got some interesting rules as well.
Kate, I think.
Kate, yeah.
Sturgis.
Well, and then
and who's this? I forget this one.
That's Ronnie.
Sturgis,
yeah.
And this is the Corsair you meet to take you to the Institute.
Yes, yeah.
X688.
X688, yeah.
Absolutely fabulous, guys. Thank you so much for bringing these in and talking to us about the future.
Yes.
Everybody, I have got to say, this is a range that I have been excited for a long time, just because of my own fandom. I hope you're all the same out there. I hope you tune into the other videos we're going to do, because I want to dive deeper into this game. I want to find out more about the factions, about their playstyles, and I also want to actually get this down on the tabletop to play again.
Yeah, can't wait.
Don't worry, I will break out my Fallout 4 armor for that game, because I think I would die by the end of it. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
So everybody, get your comments in below. Tell us, are you excited for Fallout Wasteland Warfare? We'll move on. We'll see you again very soon.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.